We all say that we want it, but if you imagine that there was a camera crew following you around, would they know how bad you actually want the thing that you say you want through your actions, or would they be completely confused as to why you were doing nothing about it?
I've said this many times. Who you are and what you are when no one's watching is more important than what you post on social media. I post on social media too, I'm not making that wrong. But who you are and what you are when no one's watching is the real you.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2013, it's Freestyle Friday. I saw a clip online, somebody shared it, and it was one of those gut punch, oh my goodness, this is maybe the most valuable piece of content I've ever seen.
Whoa.
It was really good.
My Instagram page is pretty good lately.
Yeah, it just everything on Alan's page just got me. I was like, this is amazing. This is the encyclopedia of self-improvement. How have I not seen this before?
Did you know I was going to say that?
I did not, but it was very well done.
Nice, thank you.
Very well done.
I didn't have to say just joking on that one.
I was waiting for that. It was something along the lines of, if there was somebody following you around all day and they had no idea what your goals were, would it align with how much you say you actually want it? And it was really, I mean, I've met a lot of people that say they want it, but their actions don't suggest that they actually do, and their actions don't suggest that they're ever going to get it. And it just, I don't know. It was one of those, you and I have been having a lot of talks, internal, external, social world, real world. We've been having a lot of those talks, especially probably the last 6 months. And I just think if we had that perspective more, who knows, we would probably do more. We would probably be more productive, or we would be more courageous, or whatever it is. If you had an audience of people watching you all the time, you would live your life completely differently. Now, would it be healthy? I'm not saying it would be. But I think that's a cool perspective.
So I actually don't think I would live my life any differently. But in the past, for sure. For sure. I was telling Kev yesterday, spring day, we're in New England. It was the first really warm, sunny day yesterday. And I went out into the world. I went to speak at WPI. And I get out of the speech, it's noon. The campus, they're playing bags on the quad. I mean, this is my old stomping grounds. I'm getting the college vibes. We're hanging out, skipping class. And I had two versions of me. One was, it'd be really nice to go into the dining common, get a nice coffee, maybe eat some lunch. Maybe I'll stop at Panera on the way home. And then I look at my calendar, and there's this metaphor of the good wolf and the bad wolf, and they're always fighting, and which one wins is the one that you feed. Now, again, disclaimer, this is going to sound really hardcore, but this is kind of how my highest self talks to me. Alan, don't you fucking dare. You know what you're supposed to do. Get your ass home, get in your office, and finish your calendar strong. Finish your day strong.
If you didn't have a call, would you have done it?
No, of course not. I would have gone home to my office and done what I know I'm supposed to do. Now, and again, my highest self plus human self, that was the whole thing. And by the way, that's another little side tangent I've been talking a lot about with my clients. Your highest self knows what you're supposed to do. Your human self wants to eat pizza and ice cream. I'm not saying the human self is wrong. You got to indulge the human self every now and then. You are human, but you can't let it win all the time. You've got to be real careful with that. If your goals are aligned with your calling, your highest self, your best version of you, then you got to follow through. I had a bunch of stuff on my calendar, coaching, training, podcasting, and I knew the right answer. I knew. I'm on campus, everyone else is hanging out. I knew I had to get my ass in that car, drive home, and work. And the truth is, and I need to say this explicitly, that is why we are more successful. That is the sole reason, actually. That is the main reason. Like, if I were to point to one thing, it's that. It's my actions are oriented very strategically around my most important goals. And if that wasn't the case, we would not have gotten to where we are. And I do love my life, and we have the dream. We live the dream, and it's great. We're living our dreams, living out our dreams. And moments like that blow. And that's okay. They're supposed to blow. You can't have something for nothing. Something for nothing is dumb. It's not real. And anyone who's trying to convince you it is wrong, I promise.
I think it would have been cool to get lunch for me. For me. What do you think of that?
I think if your schedule allows it, but you have to understand that if you get lunch, you're leaving something else on the table. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying getting lunch is a bad thing. I was on a coaching session with a client who was at a coffee shop during the coaching session. But don't get it twisted. You are either building towards your goals and dreams or you're not, period. And there is no in between.
No, I can't agree with that. You could be at a coffee shop and work.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's building towards your goals and dreams.
Okay. I thought you were saying
Yeah, I meant in this playful metaphor on the quad, I meant I'm going to fuck off now. Like that old college vibes came out. I used to party during the day. I mean,
what do you think of
St. Patty's Day was that past week, and I could tell some of the kids were drunk.
They're still dealing with it. What would you say? I told you, I said, hey, when I get a nice car, I'll be different. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to be different. What do you think about that now versus what you did before? Is it any different?
I think it makes a lot of sense now. Yeah. I've been doing this with clients regularly, is figure out the top 3 things that you tie your self-esteem to. One of my clients anonymously is physical appearance, number 1. Number 2 is, I got to close my eyes for this. My memory works better when I close my eyes. All right, first one is physical appearance. Second one is, wait for it. Wait for it. Oh my God, I'm going to forget. I know the third one. The third one is being seen as capable. Oh, the second one is relationship status. Okay, first one is physical appearance. Second one is relationship status. Third one is being seen as capable. She wants to be seen as very competent. So we figured out the top leverage points under each of those and made sure that those are happening. Because really, when you do learn how to feel good about yourself from an authentic place, you have more gas in the tank to like grind your face off, essentially. Yeah. When Emilia and I aren't well, this is my best example. If Emilia and I weren't 10 out of 10, we're 10 out of 10 right now. I was just in her office, just great. I feel like $1 million. My relationship is great. I'm 10 out of 10 in love. Dude, I can tackle the world right now. That's great. Now, I got to stay humble because I'm going to get smacked in the head with a brick here. But the truth is when her and I aren't strong and I'm, in shame of something or whatever, or we have like a non-10 out of 10 in love moment, challenging moment, I have a really hard time getting up and grinding.
Yeah, understandable.
I do. Yeah, and that's, I think that our central nervous system is tied to whatever makes us feel safe. And so, for example, if you and Taryn weren't good right now, you'd have a really hard time doing a good job on this episode.
Less than you.
For sure. And that's why it's important to understand your own unique things that your self-esteem is tied to. Kevin has a harder time performing when we have less money.
100%.
It doesn't affect me as much as it affects you. But if Emilia and I aren't 10 out of 10, let's say we're 9 out of 10, which is still great, it affects me more than it affects you. And so I've done this with several clients. I actually did it with 3 of my clients. Figure out the top 3 things that you tie your self-esteem to. And by the way, you're not going to like the answers. The answers are embarrassing. If I was a strong man, doesn't matter what she thinks. It's, even if I'll be fine on my own. That's what macho bullshit is, what that is. The truth is, no way. I was a shell of myself before Emilia in comparison to now. And you need to understand what your needs are, and you need to learn how to meet them constructively. Now, yesterday, if I had fucked off all afternoon, that would be a destructive way to meet my needs.
Yeah, it's hard because I think for me, it would have been constructive, not to fuck off. But nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
right? Reflection, seeing how far I've come. I think that puts gas in the tank for me.
Yeah.
And again,
Well,
everybody's different, right?
you need to know that, yeah. But
I think
again,
that's
it
super
depends on
important.
what's scheduled. Like if I had nothing
Well, yeah.
scheduled, would I have taken 20 minutes to go see the campus and reminisce? Maybe, but that's not going to do it for me.
Well,
It probably would for you.
And it's also not. That's the thing is, if it's not supposed to do it for you, then you're not supposed to do it. That's the other piece. I think certain things for me. Like I didn't never thought I was going to be here. You know, I never thought I'd be successful. So, not getting to the point where I'm just sailing on that and staying on that and saying, yeah, you know what, this is good. I'm content. That can't happen. That can't happen. But I think moments of
Does that
time,
not happen for you? You and I are so different, but we have such similar core values. I like the future. I go into the future and I love to be up against my future self.
No.
You love to go into the past and see how far you've come. For me, that doesn't motivate me.
I don't know.
If anything, I go into the past and it's like,
I don't know what the future's going to be like. I don't know what my potential is. I'm beyond what I thought I was capable of. So I don't know. No, I need to look back.
going into the future doesn't motivate you?
I'd say now more than ever, you and I have some very specific goals that we've set this year that have lit a fire under my butt. Yeah. But honestly, there's a goal under that. So, no, not nearly as much as you.
Yeah, it's a good conversation for all the listeners, viewers. What motivates you more? Seeing how far you've come or seeing how fucking far behind you are?
Well, if you have high self-belief, it's going to be the second
one. Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to lose that. I'm afraid.
You need both. I think we all need both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you want all cylinders, we have the 5 M's of motivation. We're going to teach it at Next Level Live. Picture a car with 5 cylinders. Apparently there are cars with 5 cylinders. I don't know.
Volvos, I believe, Audis, the Audi RS3, very nice car. Very fast. 5 cylinders, turbo. Yep.
Nice.
Hey, I was talking to someone today. So exciting for me. And she was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this or not. I don't think you'd mind. Alan told me something. And immediately I was like, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Word on the street is at some point you're going to have a car YouTube channel. And I was like, oh my goodness. It's happening? I just said that like 2 weeks ago. It's already happening? Hell yeah, I am. So at some point. But it's going to be a car
I meant
channel.
like 15 years.
It's got to be sooner than 50. I can't do
We'll
15.
do 10. We'll do 10.
Meet somewhere in the middle.
I'm kidding. Obviously you do you.
It's going to be a car channel, but it's going to be infused with self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be that's always going to be the gist of it. So let's just throw that out there.
There's a lot of people who value cars. I understand now. I didn't get it in the past. There's a lot of people who value cars. You obviously are passionate about cars. And you're passionate about self-improvement. So when you combine them, you can help expose more people to self-improvement, which is the purpose of NLU.
That's the goal.
I get it. I do. I get it. And there's a lesson in there, I think, for everybody too, is I've always wondered to myself why I'm so valued in certain places and then so hated in others. And it makes a lot more sense now. In a group of engineers yesterday, I felt very valued and more understood. I could use asymptote. That was so cool. It's like awesome that I can use that stuff. Like,
that's a drug?
Dude, I walk.
Use the drug in front of live in front of everybody?
You know what an asymptote is. You use the drug. Yeah, I did a little asymptote right before.
You got any left over? Send it on over. Give it a go.
So I walk up the stairs of the innovation building, and it's like heaven. There's tech, there's 3D printers, there's people everywhere, there's whiteboards on every wall. People are brainstorming and practically yelling at each other. They both have markers. They're doing equations on the walls and shit. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is where I live right here. This is awesome. This is erudite. This is academic. But anyway, so in certain settings, you're really valued, and then in other settings, you're really not. So if I don't drink, back when I used to drink, whenever I would go to a party where people really valued drinking, I was very valued. And then when I stopped drinking, I would be significantly less valued. I was just a pain in the ass. It was like, okay, so I'm wasted, you're not. I want to have a deep conversation, they don't. You ever play that really dumb game where there's a log in the center of the game and there's an axe, a hatchet, and you have to it's a drinking game with a hatchet?
No. Next Level Nation, we are very, very excited to announce that we are doing our first purely virtual Next Level Live on April 5th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alan and myself will be live streaming from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Next Level Live 2025. Be there. It's only $47 for a full day of personal development, self-improvement, holistic health, wealth, life, and love.
We have a global audience. Obviously, if you live somewhere else in the world, it's hard to come across the country or across the world for a one-day event, so we wanted to make sure it was accessible to everyone.
You're not going to get to the next level of your life by default. You're going to get there by design. Join us. Design that next level. Quick story. Freestyle Friday. So this is my sober days, fitness model, fitness competitor, fitness coach, and I used to run amok. I used to party. And I stopped partying, and so all my friends used to party, still partied. And I would go to the parties. How many times can I say party in one sentence? I went to this one party. This was a rager. I'm talking, this was the house that one of my friends got, that they ran amok at this house. It was way in the woods, probably 40 minutes south of me, 50 minutes. And it was like a bonfire, just, I'm talking ragers every other weekend. It was wild. I don't know how the landlords allowed any of this. But anyways, so in the garage, I get there, and everybody's drunk. And I got there late because I was going to the gym or whatever. And I'm not making this wrong because in the past I would have been right there. But I get there, and they're throwing a hatchet around in a circle at a log, and it's a drinking game, and you have to try to hit a certain spot in order to win the game or whatever. I remember thinking, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, you guys, this is really dangerous, right? And I was like, I think I should go. I should probably go. This is not headed in a good direction. And again, like I said, I've been there in the past. I would have been playing for sure. So I'm not trying to judge, but you're very valued in the direction of other people's values. So if you're in a room of people that love football and you're a rock star football player, you'll be really valued. If you're in a room of people who love personal development and you're really well developed, you'll be more valued. And I think that that's really important for everyone to understand, and that's kind of a side tangent to what we're talking about.
I feel like this is like the ultimate Freestyle Friday. We're kind of all over the place. I like it.
Nice.
I like it.
It's Kevin's style.
Sometimes I have stuff that I think would make for a good segment, but I don't have enough stuff to talk about for a full episode. Imagine somebody who is following you around, would they believe in your goals as much as you believe in your goals? Like, that's a really good perspective, but it's hard to do a 30-minute episode on that. But I think it's a good concept. It's so easy to say that you want it. I used to say this not all the time, and maybe I've never said it publicly. Who knows? Some people think about it. Some people talk about it. Some people act about it. And some people are it. And there's layers. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who think about starting a business. And business might not even be right for them. I'm just saying as an example. I've talked to a lot of people who talk about it. Oh, yeah, no, I could do that. I'm going to do that. This is how I would do it. It's like, awesome. Some people act about it. And they pretend that they're something they're not. And then some people become it. Some people are it. And I think when you are it and you're becoming it, that's when if somebody was around you, they would be like, holy shit, you're not messing around. Like, this is real. You're really in this. You're not just talking it. Like, yeah, no, this is what I want to dedicate my life to. That. And if you're not, then maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's a sign it's time to pivot. Maybe it's a sign that you got to get your shit together. Maybe it's a sign that you don't love this as much as you thought. Those are all potential opportunities to go in a different direction. I talk about this because it sounds really cool, but when I was training to fight mixed martial arts, I didn't want it bad enough. I just didn't. I didn't want it bad enough. I never would have been successful with the effort that I was
How do
putting
you know
in.
you didn't?
Because I wanted to skip. I would skip sessions, and I think to me it was cooler to talk about it than it was to do it. I enjoyed doing it, but I enjoyed talking about it more than doing it.
That's a thing right there, for sure. If you enjoy talking about it more than doing it, that's definitely an indicator.
Something.
Remember Kevin and I behind the scenes, we have certain hashtags we've said for 8 years. Hashtag whatever it takes. You and I have been sending to each other for 8 years. And what we mean by that is I would lose an arm for this for sure, in a heartbeat.
For sure.
Like, and I know that sounds cocky and or dumb, but there have been times where at our own detriment, we put the podcast above ourselves. And if we didn't, we wouldn't have gotten here. And I don't know if you know. Okay, so this, I think it will land. I did 3 fitness shows, and Kevin knew I would lose several of them. I have a trophy behind me. I won one of them, and I won my class and my overall. So I won the whole thing. And that was a dream come true. I was really grateful. But I did 3 shows. The first one I lost, got 5th. The second one I got 1st and won the overall. And the third one I got 4th and lost pretty handedly. And before the show, Kevin said, "You're going to fucking lose." And he wasn't being unkind. He was trying to help me understand that I was going to lose. That's sometimes how I feel when people's actions are not aligned with what I'm aware it will take to succeed. And it's really hard to explain it. Seriously, you tried to tell me, but I believed I would win. I genuinely thought that I was lean enough to win. And then I got all the feedback, and I was like, okay. So I got fucking stomped. And then the time when I did win, before it, you were like, yeah, you're going to crush everybody. And I did. And I didn't even believe you. I was very humble. I was like, I don't know, man. I lost last time, so we'll see, right? And I did. I stomped everybody. And now in hindsight, it wasn't really that close in that one, even though I was shaking in my boots on stage for sure, because one of those dudes was pretty lean and definitely jacked. But my point of that whole thing is when I meet someone or for example, again, back to the speech yesterday, I can get a sense that they will or will not succeed. Now, anything can change. So if they have a new mentor or a new coach or a life-altering experience, like anything can change. You knew that I'd lose the show based on your statistical calculation, even if it was unconscious, that I wasn't lean enough to win. When you have high awareness and you meet people, you can tell whether or not they're going to succeed or not. Based on, and this is a good question too that I think is really powerful, similar to yours. If someone had a camera on you, something along the lines of, what is it again? Someone had a camera on you. Do your actions align with your goals?
It's something like that. Would they believe in what you say you want? That if there was somebody following you around 24/7, would they believe in what you say you really, really, really want?
Right. Based on your actions.
And again, based on your actions. This is not my thing. Somebody shared this. I don't know who the author of this is, but it was not me. I did not create this.
So one of the things that's been challenging is similar to the challenge you had with me is how are you supposed to, Kevin would have had to convince me that I was inaccurate, convince me that I was going to lose, and then teach me how to win all within a matter of a couple weeks. And when I was with these kids yesterday, I was trying to think to myself, like, what do they need to hear so that they can understand that they're going to lose the show? And I don't mean to be mean, but they're going to lose a bunch of shows. The question is how many and for how long before they smarten up. And if I was 20, what would I have been open to? Or if Kevin was 20, what would he have been open to? And how could I show them that your dreams are possible, but not unless you change X, Y, Z? And so this hashtag whatever it takes thing, I had mentors, but I didn't want mentors. I did work, but I didn't want to work. And I think that there's this willingness piece to goals that I don't think people understand. So I get a new client. I just got one new, and it'll be interesting. He's brand new. We'll see. We're going to set up his goals, metrics, habits, skills, and identity. Goals, priorities, metrics, habits, and skills. And then I'm going to find out if he aligns with it. And most likely he won't, because that's what people do. And then we're going to go to the drawing board and say, okay, well, here's your system. You didn't do it. Why not? And then there's internal blocks. And I think that when it comes to goals, it's a mathematical equation. It doesn't matter what you think or feel. You have to do it. Like, what's a good example of this? It doesn't matter if we want a podcast or not. If we want to succeed at the highest level, we have to podcast. It's better if we want to. It's better if we set ourselves up in a position where we actually enjoy it. But ultimately, it doesn't matter whether or not Kevin and I want to record today. We have to record today if we want the goal. If we don't want the goal, we don't have to fucking do anything. And I think that that's a very fundamentally misunderstood thing. I always ask myself, willingness. There are certain things that we could do to be more successful that I'm not willing to do. I've had to draw that line in the sand, and I know we are less successful because I'm not willing to sell out or XYZ or network with this person or whatever. What is your willingness level? How willing are you to do the things that are hard and necessary to achieve your goals? Because I think that it is arrogant, like me before that show I lost, to say I'm going to win, but then simultaneously not do everything necessary to actually win.
Well, you did what you thought was necessary.
I was wrong.
That's what makes it hard, is sometimes you don't know.
Well, why didn't I listen to you?
Because you're an idiot. No, I don't, because
No, seriously though.
Maybe I didn't do a good enough job of convincing you. Maybe you were hard-headed. I don't know.
I think it was a combination of I was arrogant and delusional, and I think that you were not effective in your communication.
I think Matt told you too. I remember we were...
Yeah, that was brutal.
A night or two before, I don't remember, it was the week of the show, you were posing at the gym, and Matt and I were standing next to each other, and we're like, oh no. Like, brother, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, leaner than you. Yeah, we're leaner than you right now, and we're just dieting for fun. Like, we're this is going to be bad. This is Bunny meets the Blade here.
Yeah, Matt was behind. He was very kind to me in that, because he was my when you're backstage, you always have someone with you. And the show that I won, he was my guy, and we crushed together. That was a fun experience with Matt. He was like, dude, you just fucking stomped everyone. It was awesome. And he had done that the year before when I lost, so he knows what the feeling. And then the last one, he was just trying to be kind because he knew I was fucked.
Well, Matt is the type of person, he gives it to you. It depends. If you need it, he'll give it to you real. But
he knew there's nothing you can do 2 days out. So
yeah, no, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. It's like you can only burn something so bad. Like, you can't really fix it. You burn your pizza, you light it on fire. There's really not much you can do to fix that. You got to throw it out.
Just
start over.
Yeah.
Start over. So yeah, I would say next level lesson for this episode. I don't really know, because we went all over the place. Next time, sometimes what I do, and again, this is, it's a fine line, right? It's a fine line. But I'll imagine Alan's watching me. I'll imagine Taryn is in the office watching me when I don't want to do something. And it's like, just do it, man. Just do it. I say I want it. I want it. I got to prove to myself that I want it. So next time you have that little voice that says, yeah, I'm going to go play bags on the quad and shotgun 15 beers. Not that Alan was going to do that, but maybe that's what I would have thought.
I would have shotgunned a few in college
back in the day.
Sure. But I also didn't have any fitness results in college.
That's fair.
To this extent.
That would be the lesson for me, is next time you have that voice, what's the overriding voice? What is the highest self? What is the overriding voice? What is that voice that is just pulling for you and your goals and your fulfillment? Let's work on that a little bit more, because we all have to. Alan had to flex that in order to go home and do his calls. I drove by Dunkin' Donuts today, and I could taste it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. 100%.
And I was like, there's coffee at home.
Yep.
And honestly, it's better. The coffee at home is better. The experience just isn't. So that's mine.
My next level lesson is your highest self the best version of you is always trying to talk to you. You just got to listen to the whispers. You know what you should do. How often can you do what you should do instead of just what feels good in the moment? That is the base problem of goals, is that, and I used to say this in my fitness coaching days. I gave a speech about fitness at one of the events 7 years ago. And I said, you can have a six-pack or drink a six-pack, never both. And obviously, some people, there's exceptions. I get it, right? You and I had a six-pack when we were drinking. But ultimately, you get to hang out and drink beers, or you get to be ripped and shredded and in great shape. You don't get to be both types of guys or both types of girls. You just don't. You can't be both. You got to choose one. And we all have that choice every single day. And it's tough. Like, it's really hard to achieve goals. I'm convinced of that. Anyone who says otherwise is lying to you.
I would concur.
Goals are hard to achieve, especially now with all these distractions and all that kind of stuff. If you have high goals, good for you. Because if it was easy, everybody would achieve all their dreams. Everyone would live on the beach. Everyone would have a six-pack. Like, that's not the case. And the reason why is because it's brutal. And the reason why is because in those moments of weakness of, I want to play bags on the quad, you have to say, you know what? Get your fucking ass in that office and do what you're meant to do, because that's what a responsible adult does for your family and for your team and for your community.
I used to, if I was going to go drink, I'd have like a salad or something. That was my secret. I just wouldn't
and then it would hit you quicker too.
That wasn't why I was doing it
as well.
I'm a lightweight, so that wasn't why I was doing it. But it was more like, okay, 130 calories per beer. 6 would be 780 calories. Okay, that's not bad.
No wonder why you got hammered, man. It's
not
like
bad.
When you don't eat a lot.
I was doing it because I wanted to stay in shape.
I see you. And
like,
that's why you were in better shape. That's the base reason of why you were in better shape.
But it also, I mean, there's that's not how most people want to enjoy their
You were shredded.
beverages. Well, I'm working my way back. All right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay next level. Next levelers.